The universe is speaking. A message is unfolding, written not in ink, but in light and shadow, etched across the vast canvas of the night sky. The moon's occultation is not just an astronomical event, it is a cosmic whisper, a veil being drawn, a moment of divine revelation. And you are meant to witness it. Something unseen moves behind the moon, something the naked eye cannot perceive, but the soul feels it. There is an energy stirring, an alignment that holds secrets older than time itself. This is no ordinary celestial shift. It is a gateway, a passage through which unseen forces communicate. Some will ignore it, brushing it off as mere coincidence. But those who understand, those who listen, will find themselves standing at the edge of something profound. Because this is not just about the moon covering a distant star. It is about what is being concealed and what is about to be revealed. Above us, beyond the reach of human hands, the moon moves with quiet precision, aligning itself in a way that has captivated mystics and seekers for centuries. This is an occultation, a moment when the moon veils a celestial body, temporarily obscuring it from sight. But in the realm of energy and spirit, nothing is ever truly hidden. What appears to vanish is, in truth, undergoing transformation. Symbolically, the moon's occultation represents a passage between worlds, a doorway between the seen and the unseen. In ancient traditions, moments like these were considered sacred, a time when veils between dimensions were at their thinnest. The universe does not conceal without reason. When the moon eclipses a star, it is asking us to turn inward, to reflect on what in our own lives has been shrouded in mystery. You may feel it, a subtle shift in your emotions, an unexplainable pull towards something deeper. This is because celestial alignments influence the tides not only of the oceans, but of the human soul. The energy is one of revelation. Hidden truths are surfacing, illusions dissolving. And this moment is happening now for a reason. The universe is aligning in perfect orchestration, calling for your awareness. Are you listening? There are things in your life that no longer fit. You sense it, not as a thought, but as a knowing, an unspoken truth settling in your bones. Maybe it's a relationship that has grown silent, a dream you once carried but no longer recognize, or a version of yourself that feels like a distant echo. You go through the motions, yet somewhere deep inside, a question lingers. Is this all there is? The moon's occultation mirrors this feeling. Just as the light of a star is temporarily hidden, parts of you, your desires, your clarity, your purpose, may feel obscured. But what disappears is not lost. It is only waiting to be seen in a new way. Think back to a time when you felt certain, when your path was clear. What changed? Was it time? Was it circumstance? Or was it you? Growth is a quiet process, often unnoticed until one day you wake up and realize the things that once made sense no longer do. And yet change rarely announces itself with certainty. It whispers, it unsettles, it disrupts the patterns we cling to, forcing us to look closer. Have you been ignoring something in your life? A feeling you can't quite explain, a truth you've been avoiding. The moon's occultation is a cosmic reflection of this very moment, a call to pay attention to what has been slipping through your fingers. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast ocean, watching the tide pull back before a wave crashes forward. That brief stillness, that breath before movement, that is where you are right now. The universe is giving you a pause, a space between what was and what will be. The question is, will you step into it? Some people resist this pull, afraid of what they might find. They bury their feelings in distractions, convincing themselves that everything is fine. But ignoring a calling does not silence it. It only makes it grow louder in unexpected ways, through restlessness, through exhaustion, through a quiet sense of dissatisfaction that never quite fades. What would happen if just for a moment you allowed yourself to listen, to sit with the uncertainty, the longing, the questions without rushing to find an answer? Transformation does not come from forcing clarity. It comes from allowing the unknown to unfold. The moon does not fear the darkness. It moves through its cycles, trusting that even in the moments of greatest shadow, the light will return. Can you do the same? Not everything that feels like an ending is one. Sometimes what seems like loss is actually a shedding, an unraveling of what no longer serves you, making space for something greater. The moon's occultation is not about what disappears. It is about what is revealed in the absence. And right now, you are being asked to see beyond the surface. Think of your life as a house with many rooms. Some doors you walk through every day without thinking, familiar and worn with time. Others remain closed, untouched, holding memories, dreams, or truths you're not quite ready to face. But energy does not stay trapped forever. Eventually, what has been ignored begins to seep through the cracks. Maybe you've noticed it. Certain thoughts returning again and again, emotions rising without warning. A sudden shift in what once felt stable. It's not random. This is your soul trying to get your attention. The more you resist, the louder it becomes. But the moment you stop fighting and allow yourself to see what's really there, something shifts. The fear lessens. The unknown feels less like an enemy and more like an invitation. What would happen if you stepped into that unopened room? If you faced what you've been avoiding, not with fear, but with curiosity? Maybe it's an old belief about yourself that no longer fits. Maybe it's a dream you buried because you thought it was too late. Or maybe it's a truth about your relationships, your work, or the way you've been living that you haven't wanted to admit. The moon moves in cycles, and so do you. This moment right now is not about rushing to a conclusion. It is about allowing yourself to pause, to breathe, to let clarity come in its own time. So many people spend their lives running, chasing after the next thing, filling the silence with distractions, fearing stillness because it forces them to hear their own thoughts. But the greatest wisdom comes in those quiet moments. Imagine standing in a vast field at night, the sky stretching endlessly above you. The stars are hidden behind clouds, the air thick with uncertainty. Some would panic, searching desperately for light, for a way out. But the wise ones, they wait, they trust, they understand that even when they cannot see the stars, they are still there, waiting to emerge when the time is right. That is where you are now, in the in-between, in the space between clarity and uncertainty, past and future, knowing and unknowing. And this moment is asking something of you. Will you trust the process? Will you let go of what you cannot control and allow the universe to guide you? Because whether you resist or surrender, change is already in motion. The only difference is whether you meet it with fear or with open arms. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means understanding that not everything is meant to be controlled. It means trusting that even in moments of uncertainty, you are exactly where you need to be. Think of a river. It does not fight the rocks in its path. It moves around them, shaping them over time, allowing the current to carry it forward. When you resist change, when you cling to old patterns, outdated beliefs, or relationships that no longer nurture you. You become like water, trapped behind a dam. The pressure builds, the energy stagnates. But the moment you let go, the moment you trust the flow, everything begins to move again. What if, instead of holding on so tightly, you allowed yourself to be guided? Instead of fearing the unknown, you embraced it. Because here's the truth. What's coming is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to shape you, to reveal parts of yourself you never knew existed. Look at the patterns in your life, the things that keep repeating, the lessons that return again and again, disguised in different forms. Do you notice them? Do you see the way the universe speaks to you, nudging you toward growth, urging you to release what no longer serves you? Some people ignore these signs, convincing themselves that if they just hold on a little longer, things will go back to the way they were. But the past is not a place you can return to. It is a chapter already written, and the only way forward is through. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing at the edge of a cliff. Below, the unknown stretches out before you, vast, endless, filled with possibilities you cannot yet see. Fear tells you to step back, to cling to the safety of solid ground. But something inside you knows. You were never meant to stay where you are. Growth happens when you dare to step forward, even when you can't see what's waiting on the other side. This is your moment. The universe is aligning, clearing away what no longer belongs, making space for something new. But you must be willing to release, to trust, to step into the unknown with an open heart. Not everything is meant to be held on to forever. Some things, some people, some versions of yourself are only meant to be with you for a season. When you let go, you are not losing. You are creating space for what is meant to come next. And when the light returns, when the clouds part, when the path becomes clear, you will realize you were never lost. You were simply becoming. The hardest part of transformation isn't the moment of change itself. It's the waiting, the space in between, the limbo where one version of you has already begun to fade, but the next has yet to take shape. This is where doubt creeps in, where the mind fights to hold on to what is familiar, even when the soul is ready to move forward. But here's what most people don't realize. This in-between space is sacred. It is not a void. It is a cocoon, a place of deep, unseen work where your next self is quietly forming beneath the surface. And just like the moon's occultation, where something momentarily disappears only to return, brighter and more defined, so too are you in the process of re-emerging. Yet most people resist this stage. They fear stillness. They mistake uncertainty for failure. Have you ever felt like you were waiting for something, but you weren't sure what? Like a part of you knew a shift was coming, but you couldn't put it into words. That feeling is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is unfolding. The universe does not rush its creations. The moon does not panic when it fades into darkness, nor does the seed buried in soil resist the time it takes to break open and grow. So why do we fight our own seasons of transformation? Maybe you've been questioning your path, wondering why things feel different, why certain relationships feel distant, why your dreams no longer excite you the way they once did. Maybe you've been searching for answers, desperate for clarity, wishing something, anything, would just make sense again. But clarity doesn't come from forcing an answer. It comes from surrendering to the process, from trusting that even when you cannot see the destination, the journey is still unfolding exactly as it should. Imagine carrying a heavy bag on a long journey. With every step, it weighs you down. You tell yourself You need what's inside. Old fears, past versions of yourself, outdated beliefs. You've carried them for so long, they feel like a part of you. But what if you set the bag down? What if you released what no longer serves you? Would you feel lighter? Would you move forward with greater ease? This is what the universe is asking of you now. To let go, to trust, to stop clinging to what is comfortable, simply because it is familiar. The moon's occultation is a reflection of this very moment, a cosmic pause, a temporary darkness that exists only to reveal the light in a new way. And when the light returns, when the next chapter unfolds, you will look back at this moment and understand it was never about losing anything. It was about becoming who you were, always meant to be. There comes a moment in every journey when the choice is no longer distant. It is right in front of you, waiting. No more hesitation, no more delaying. Just a single, undeniable truth. You cannot stay where you are. Everything in the universe moves. The stars, the tides, the very energy that makes up existence. It all shifts, transforms, expands. And yet so many people resist their own growth, clinging to the past as if it holds the key to the future. But the past is a closed door. No matter how many times you knock, it will not open again. The moon's occultation is a sign, a whisper from the cosmos, urging you to release the illusion of permanence. What once felt stable may now feel uncertain. What once seemed clear may now be clouded in mystery. But this is not punishment. This is preparation. The universe is reshaping you, stripping away what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. You've felt it, haven't you? The pull, the unshakable knowing that something is shifting, even if you can't explain it. It's that restless energy deep in your soul, the voice inside whispering that you are meant for more. But will you listen? Will you trust it? Or will you let fear convince you to hold on to what no longer serves you? This is the moment where you decide, not tomorrow, not when it feels convenient. Now close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel the weight of everything you've been carrying. The doubts, the fears, the what-ifs, the things you were told about yourself that were never true, the identities you've outgrown but still wear like a second skin. Now, let it go. Yes, it's terrifying. Yes, the unknown is vast and unpredictable. But think of this. The most beautiful things in life come from surrender. The caterpillar does not fight the cocoon. The river does not resist the ocean. The stars do not refuse to burn simply because they know one day they will collapse into something new, and neither should you. You were never meant to stay the same. Growth is your birthright. Expansion is your purpose. Every step you've taken, every challenge you've faced, has led you to this exact moment, this turning point where you finally understand that the only way forward is through. The moon's occultation is temporary, but its lesson is eternal. You are meant to rise. You are meant to evolve, to embrace the unknown with open arms, to step into the next version of yourself without looking back. So here's my challenge to you. Do something today that aligns with your future, not your past. Make the decision. Release the old. Take the step, no matter how small, because the universe is already in motion. The only question is, are you ready to move with it? The universe has spoken, and the message is clear. This is your moment. The moon's occultation was not just another celestial event, it was a cosmic mirror reflecting back the truth that has always been within you. You are ready. You are meant to evolve. The time for waiting, hesitating, or doubting is over. Everything you have felt leading up to this moment, the discomfort, the uncertainty, The feeling that something was shifting, even if you couldn't put it into words, was all leading you here. You are standing at the threshold of transformation, and the universe is waiting for your answer. So now, the question is, what will you do with this moment? Will you continue to cling to what is familiar, even if it no longer serves you? Will you let fear convince you to stay in places, mindsets, or relationships that are holding you back? Or will you choose to rise, to step forward into the unknown with courage, knowing that everything you seek is waiting on the other side of change? This is not just another day. This is not just another passing thought. This is a turning point, and turning points only come to those who are ready to receive them. The universe has already begun its shift. The energy has already been set in motion. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to have every answer right now. All you need is the willingness to trust, to let go, to listen, to align yourself with the transformation that is already unfolding. Think of your life up to this point, the moments that shaped you, the lessons that broke you open, the times when everything felt uncertain, yet somehow you made it through. You have always been growing, even when you didn't realize it. You have always been evolving, even in the moments you felt stuck. And now is the time to claim that growth, to own your transformation, to move forward with intention and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. You are not here by accident. This moment, this message, was meant to find you. The universe speaks in whispers, in signs, in moments that feel too perfectly timed to be coincidence. And now, it's speaking to you. Will you listen? You've felt the shift. You've sensed the call to let go, to evolve, to trust. The moon's occultation was not just an event in the sky. It was a reflection of your own journey, a reminder that disappearance is not the end. It is a transformation. The old fades so the new can emerge. The darkness comes only to make the light more visible. So take this as your sign. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Make the choice that aligns with your highest self. Release the weight of what no longer serves you. Step forward into the unknown with faith, knowing that the universe is guiding you every step of the way. If this message resonated with you, don't just listen and move on. Engage with it. Let it become a catalyst for real change. Comment below. What are you releasing? What are you stepping into? What truth did this moment awaken in you? When you share your experience, you not only solidify your commitment to transformation, but you also inspire others who may be feeling the same pull. We are all connected in this journey, and your words have power. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning. The universe is constantly speaking, constantly sending signs, and I will be here to help you decode them, to guide you through the shifts, the awakenings, the moments of doubt, and the moments of clarity. And don't forget to share this message. Someone you know needs to hear this. Someone in your life is standing at their own turning point, unsure of what to do next. Be the reason they find the courage to step forward. The next celestial event is approaching, and its energy will be even more powerful. Are you ready to harness it? Stay with me, stay open, stay aligned, because what's coming next, you won't want to miss it.